Oh, by the way, I'm gonna talk a bit about SEO. While there's a lot of problem with SEO, let's be honest. It's not. If I don't love SEO, or if I was in the middle, it's not the middle. If I was 50-50 about SEO as a whole, I probably would hate this season more than I am right now. But since I love SEO since season 1, the disappointment that this season have become was more of a disappointment. And yeah, I'm stressed about it. Fuck it, I'm stressed about it. The issue that I think I've mentioned this before is that the issue with this season is part 2 of Alicization, part 2 of War of, I think in Underworld in general, in War of Underworld in general, is that when you make a villain, you don't. I understand the need for that villain to be strong, right? But the issue with SAO is that the moment they introduced Miller, they gave him. They made him too strong to the point where they made him and POH too strong to the point where it doesn't make sense based on that world's logic. What's worse is that now since this issue created more other issues. Firstly, now the power, how do I say this? The the rule of the world is already broken at that point because by making Miller too strong, they are bending every rule that they established since season 1 of Alicization. Right? There's literally it, you can everything that they build up, all the mechanism that they build up in season 1, you can just throw it out of the window. They literally just fuck that shit. We don't have any rules anymore. We'll just do whatever we want and make it flashy. Okay, that's one problem. The second problem is that okay, back to that one problem. By doing that, the world doesn't make sense anymore. Each action that Miller took doesn't make sense. Each of his power doesn't make sense, which creates the second problem. To in order for Kirito to overcome this problem, obviously he needs to be stronger, right? So in that way, the author have to make some more bullshit to overcome the first bullshit. That's the issue. That's a big issue. Because right now Kirito's power doesn't make sense. Yujo come back to life for some reason. Yujo literally stopped an attack from in this episode. He literally stopped an attack from, who the fuck is his name again? Miller. Which doesn't make sense. Yujo is dead. That people can't came back to life. That is established. Right? If that people can come back to life, then the Pontifex can come back to life. If Yuju was just supporting him from behind, like giving him push, I can understand that. Because I would assume that that's a mental thing, right? That the Yuju inside him would tell him that. But this is not. This is Yuju literally physically go there and block that sword. Doesn't make sense. Which comes back to the first point. You are breaking your own rule. You can't do that. It becomes super inconsistent. Everything is messed up. For some reason, Miller becomes that blob of, I don't know what that is. It doesn't make sense. That's an issue. In previous seasons, this kind of thing just happens once. Like, like in the first core, SAO first arc in Anchorite, the only bullshit that Kirito did is that he moved when Heathcliff froze everyone. He somehow managed to move. Asuna managed to move. And I think at that point I was like, oh, okay, it's power of love kind of thing. I can accept that once because it doesn't break everything else, everything that the world established, or it just break. How do I say it? It break it a bit, but just by a bit. It doesn't throw it out of the window, right? But now in Underworld, it broke everything, literally everything that Alicization tried to the Alicization establish. That whole fight was a beautiful mess. It's not a beautiful mess. It's a beautifully animated mess. It is a mess. Doesn't make sense. Nothing makes sense there. Fuck it. I'm gonna start on this story first.